Well, Togo fans, I'm actually back. Sorry for my absence a bit. I've been spending a lot of days. I've been spending 2 days, well, 2 days ago, spent quite a bit of time, saw changing some old thumbnails on my older reviews. Because I've improved a lot since then when it comes to choosing the right stuff to use. And that caused a problem for till today. I couldn't change any thumbnails because I couldn't upload any videos because I didn't want to go about thumbnails again. So yeah, if you go back to it's like stuff my videos on Kinoja, Comrade Geeks, even some small ones like Bumbunja. Some of them, they'll be different. Not all the Bumbunja ones. I changed ones like for Sakito's debut episode. One Ben Black's debut episode. I may change that one again actually to feature their roll call pose. And the Bumbunja finale. Those are the ones I changed. Which I think I look better now. I changed nearly all the thumbnails of Kinoja. Some I left untouched because I like them. Because they're great scenes. And you'll notice too. And I'm proud of the ones I chose. Look more dynamic now. Also interesting fact. Did you know, I didn't even know this back then, but did you know Kinoja was actually praised by Hideo Kojima, the guy behind the Metal Gear Solid games? Yeah, he praised the storytelling and characters. Look at how you don't believe me. Like, that is impressive. Since Kinoja used technology that used some stuff that shows stuff like Disney were using. Some advanced green screen technology. I didn't even know that until recently. It's really cool. And I'm looking forward to rewatching Kinoja again and doing. And also I make playlists on my anime channel, but I separate the movie reviews to a different playlist to be part of Super Sentai reviews. Because I plan to cover. But I do put my view on the entire season of Kinoja with them. Because dialogue will be different because I already watched them. But I may do reviews on them. Nah. But I do plan to do reviews of older reviews like like Gokaiger, Go Busters, and Kyoruja. I want to go back and re-review those with some updated stuff about nails and stuff. Knowledge and stuff happens now. Especially since 2 years ago, the Kyoru just returned. Anyway, I'm doing a very special review today. I'm doing the second pilot version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers pilot. Yeah, technically they're free, but one's more of a test video. More of a concept in a way. Just shows us the basic idea. Just shows different versions of different actors and different versions of the characters we come to know using Bioman footage, which is an old Sentai season from the 1980s since Saban wanted to adapt Chodenshi Bioman. That would have been tough to do, especially since like halfway through Yellow Ranger dies. Not a joke. Like halfway through it, Yellow 4 dies. She dies. They would have had to find a way around that. They could have come up with a creative way. Saban did adapt Bioman for the first Power Rangers. I think they could have gone around Yellow 4's death. It's gonna be curious. What are your thoughts? Anyway. This won't be a long review because a lot of stuff will recycle into the actual first episode. But this pilot released in 1992. I mean, there's one big change, and some smaller changes, and another big change towards the end. So let's get into it. So this is a pilot. We do have the glimpse of the theme song with the Go Go Power Rangers. Then again, the original pilot also had that too. The idea was fully formed. We just heard an instrumental version of it, and it became one of the most iconic theme songs. I'm gonna lie. Anyway, the opening scene later it's just reused recycled into the first start of the first episode, word for word. But when we cut to the youth center, we get some different scenes here. I mean, Introduce the Rangers is different. I reviewed the actual first episode. They've done something with recognition. Watch it out. But yeah, the pilot. Yeah. Trini and Billy. Trini, now played by Tui Tran, is doing some bit of practice with Jason. Well, Billy and Kimberly at the table, and Zach comes in too. This is supposed to be an introduction to them, but I like how we introduced them properly in the previous one. We get a sense of their abilities before, we just slowly meet them briefly in a few minutes. Again, some element of this was reused, not recycled. But in the actual episode, Jason was practicing with Zach. So yeah. Challenge images. Zach ended up messing with Jason, who was practicing balance. Typical. And the characters are wearing the exact outfits they wore in the actual show. Not changed. Not a bad thing. I think that was smart. It was. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I think it was interesting that Saban decided to use the clothes. I think that made it easier to recycle a lot of the footage that he didn't want to film again. Saban was probably being cheap. I didn't want to didn't want to refilm much of it, so that's why a lot of it got reused, with some dialogue being changed or removed. But interesting enough, we get an introduction of Bulk and Skull. And I initially thought that, I'll get that in a sec. This scene when Kimberly announces, asking people who wants Ernie's chili. Before, with a crown, she accidentally spills on Bulk, which was reused. This was actually recycled to the episode Big Sisters, and I think that was episode 7. I just want to clarify. Yeah, it was episode 7. So we got reused into the 7th episode. But more scene. And in that episode, a line was added for Kimberly saying, "Sorry, Bulk." But it's shot exact same shots. So, and Joe is there. Jason Nari is present in the scenes. Since this is recycled footage. It's just weird how he's not shown on the same table as Bulk. I just assumed like they were in separate places and stuff, but no. Like, I'm confused why they filmed it that way. I just assumed something just because the way it was filmed. So why the fuck did they film it that way? Oh well. Oh, so anyway. After that, so yeah. This is supposed to be an introduction to Bulk and Skull. Like they're just threats. When they are bullies in the show, but Rangers don't just find them just don't really have any tough. I don't know. They just just treating bullies a nuisance than just a big bully. He's like a gang leader now. As he pierced and makes he sends his gang to attack the Rangers. And just enough the Rangers to beat them creatively, unlike in the original pilot, where they just beat the crap out of the bullies. Now, Bulk was technically in the original pilot, Paul Schreier, but Paul Schreier, the character wasn't called Bulk, but was still played by Paul Schreier. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. And so the Rangers deal with it really creatively. Just using another attack, just using the momentum and stuff. With Billy and Trini, with Jason and Trini, going being more creative. We're talking about Bulk and Skull. Yeah, it's more creative. But I like how we introduced the Bulk and Skull in the actual show, because Bulk and Skull go for a cow dog in the show. So I think I've had a show handle them well. Don't treat them like gangy. That's just typical. Just treat them like typical bullies that the Rangers can deal with. Like, way the Rangers chooses to handle them shows responsibility. But I also like the scene in this pilot because it's not really being violent. They're more being creative. They're not fighting fist to fist and stuff. No, they're just subduing them. Just taking them down in creative ways without fighting. So it works. So they're subdued. A weird thing happens though. So we get a new shot with Rita. I say new, but it's just it's already reused footage of G-Ranger. And Bandora's introduction. They just read the shot. But they did keep in the shot of Bandora blowing away the astronauts, which was cut in the actual episode. Or Power Rangers, that is, not G-Ranger. Just to clarify. A lot of these shots were using a shot from a different episode to attack the Earth, causing an earthquake. Also, Ernie barely appears in this one. He only has like one scene. Now it's the chili scene, and that got recycled with the Big Sisters. But I'm just glad I only got a bit of a bigger presence. I kind of wish they made him a bit more of a mentor figure to the Rangers out in their normal day lives, Zolo is their mentor for struggles as a Power Ranger. Well, Ernie could help them with regular day problems, like a man. I'm just saying that could have worked. Gave Ernie a bit of a bigger role. Know what I mean? Alright, some more new rumors has come out about the Power Rangers reboot that Disney is working on. That's going to be on Disney Plus. Not being worked on by Disney, but they'll be on Disney Plus. That's the irony. As you remember how badly Disney treated Power Rangers years prior. Treated like it wasn't even, like, seriously. And they didn't care about the action and stuff. They just want to saw the dollar signs. It's a marketing franchise, and they didn't capitalize on it. Instead, they just got rid of it. They just pushed it sideways once they got Marvel. You know, started creating the MCU and stuff. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So, we also get a recycle shot for the actual episode of Zolan Alpha, word for word. No! Not that! Not teenagers! I love Albert Bill. I miss Alpha 5. Alpha 6 did not have a great presence, at least for Turbo. But, how'd you do, fellow kids? Time to talk. It's really annoying. So I'm glad they changed that for in space. Alpha now sounds as a female voice. We never actually get an explanation what happened to Alpha 5. Is he dead? Like, he should be on the Eltar with Zoran before he got captured in that throughout the season. What happened to him? He doesn't even crash the Earth that warned the Rangers. I'm just saying, just so he's pushed to the side. We never get an explanation of whatever happened to Alpha 5. Is he, like, dead? I don't know. It's a Power Rangers. Someday plan to review the crossover between Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the Justice League. It is a real comic, and I have it. Somewhere. I don't know where it is right now, but I read it, it's good. It's a really good crossover. Just typical superheroes. Oh my gosh. As a team up with 6 teenagers with attitude fighting in multicolored spandex with summoning giant robots to face giant monsters. Yeah. This movie was actually popularized by the 1960s series Ultraman by Tsuburaya, who was did special effects for the Godzilla film from the 50s. And because he had a good relationship with Toho, he was allowed to use the costumes. I think I'll say more of that explanation when I try to review the original Ultraman at some point. You know, surprisingly, never tried to adapt Ultraman. Then again, probably being cheap. Then again, it probably be more expensive since we only see Ultraman fight towards the end of the episode. So that's tough to do. I can understand that. So I guess that's why a different company adapted Gridman, which is kind of similar to Ultraman. I mean, it's by Subaraya, yes, but I don't know how different it is. I mean, Gridman obviously being someone that's always in the cyber world. Sorry, I'll go off topic. Oh yeah, when Zoran summons the Rangers, the shot of them teleporting is different. And this shot here actually got reused, not in the show itself, in the freaking intro. Like, I think I got the opening Zoran's lines right. Alpha, readers escape. Teleport 5 teenagers with attitude. I might be wrong on that. But yeah, that shot the Rangers teleported in the intro where we can't spawn on this pilot. Since the shot of their teleportation is different in the actual episode. especially where the specific positions are. For some reason, they're standing close to the stairs instead of being on the stairs. They're both weird, though. So yeah, I'm not going into detail on some of these scenes because again, I reviewed the first episode. So yeah, they meet Solon and Alpha, international being, interdimensional being. Yeah, they become Power Rangers. Blah blah. They refuse. They leave. Rita attacks them. Oh, actually, I forgot. I just found this out recently too. But 2 shots of the original pilot were actually reused. I'm not kidding. See, if you pay close, the other day, I watched and compared both episodes, both versions of Day of the Dumpster, minus the second pilot, obviously. I compared them to see how different they were. And yeah, notice how the shot, the outer shot of them walking out of the command center, far away shot, actually comes from the original pilot. So you see closely, you can see a bit of white there because Jason wore a white T-shirt with red stripes on the sleeves and the collar, I think. You can clearly see that in the next shot when Rita blasts at them. Again, we shot from the pilot, as you can see Audrey Dubois' Cheney. Weird thing is, if you look at promotional shots, one of my Power Rangers, you can see the Rangers in their pilot gear. Even Tui Tran wearing the same outfit as Audrey Dubois. White shirt. The white shirt I think is a crop top or something, or is it tucked in a calendar? And yellow pants. So the Rangers are attacked by putties. No, the music, and they cut to a commercial break. Yeah, that's a little odd for that black. And I really don't like Kimberly's scream there. Just felt like she was in big trouble, like a hopeless person, even though she could fight back. If you get what I mean. Yeah, I don't know why it's only faded to black before coming back to the actual scene, when this is a pilot, not meant to be aired on TV. Like, this is just a proof of concept. It's not supposed to be aired on TV, so I don't know why the hell there are commercial breaks. It's weird. Anyway. Everyone plays out the same, except the music's slightly different. It's still a similar sound of music, but the precision point of the episode though but the usual music you hear in the actual episode is not there. So everyone plays out the same up until they morph, where it's more reused, but it's a similar version. It's similar to how the previous pilot did it. We're using the ancient footage of the Jew Rangers using the Dino Buckler from the first episode. I mean, if you pause before the glow, you can clearly see it's not the fucking Power Rangers. I see the Black Rangers white for some reason. not trying to be offensive. That's not what I mean. Like, because what I mean is because Walter Jones is black. Even though it's kind of offensive, got cast as the Black Ranger. I don't know what they were thinking of that one. You get the point, okay? But it's actually a lot better. About seeing the images of the Rangers morphing, the Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, saber-toothed tiger, Tyrannosaurus. Those got to be used, but with different backgrounds. The morph-like background that appears every time. I think that's what they reused at every time. It's pretty interesting. So it's a lot better. Rangers enough. It's the same Goku Power Rangers, but instead of playing the full version, the full 1 minute version for the fight sequences, they cut it down. They slightly cut it down a bit. So yeah, the Rangers teleported to face Goldar. And they actually use a lot more of the fight footage from the Sentai. As some of these parts were cut in the actual episode. Kyo Sentai, G-Ranger. Even a shot of Trini using a blaster, which was cut out. As you know, the blasters will be based out later down the line too. Rita is pissed. So yeah, we have similar shots, but this time more extended scenes of Rita basically telling Vincent to basically summon a new monster so she can grow. So only some of the monsters that footage that's comes from won't get used in Power Rangers until episode 44. So this is later Sentai footage. As because Power Rangers when Power Rangers use footage from Sentai, even Sentai use footage from later episodes after the Six Ranger debuted. Yeah, the Six Ranger, but it actually worked because Six Ranger Dragon Ranger Barai it's only around for like some fight scenes, as he's in a type of chamber most of the episode. It's just so weird that they decided to do that. Maybe because he might overshadow maybe go that in so he doesn't overshadow the Jew Rangers. I understand that, but it really limited Barai's interactions with the other team. Have episodes where he and one of the other Jew Rangers interact and bond. Him growing part of the team. Just saying, it's just weird they did that. So I got off topic. So yeah, this monster comes from episode 44 of Power Rangers. So I don't know why they decided to use this for the pilot. As in the actual episode, they swapped it around for footage from the Megazord's debut episode from Jew Ranger, episode 6. It's Dara Spin. So, but wait, hey, where's Goldar? Basically saying the Rangers, with some effects there, the Rangers summon their Zords. Yeah. Yes, then they face off against the creature, the monster. You're gonna try with some petals, I think. I think you'll just have to wait to episode 44 to actually grasp it. Get more sense of it. Since we don't really understand this monster's ability since it's just used for this pilot. So yeah, Rangers destroy it. I do like it when Rita goes, uh-oh, every time. And not every episode, but it's just funny hearing Rita go, uh-oh. Every time. I just love that. It's hilarious. Probably because it's just a great actress. And well, back at Rita's base, the palace that just got introduced not too long ago. Before her attacks, after her attack already started. Since the shot of blasting Earth wasn't at her palace. So her palace just appears out of nowhere, and again it appears out of nowhere in Power Rangers. Yeah, right. Anyway. So yeah, I'm like, oh, there you are, Goldar. Rita's pissed. And the rest plays out exactly like the final scenes of the first episode. With some audio removed from this specific scene. As Rangers do their hand power up thing. They actually say their dinosaur power names. But that audio got removed. Which, why exactly, I don't know, but I think I prefer how the actual episode turned out. And that was the second pilot. I went on a little too long about rambling. My bad. Because I thought this was going to be a short video. But yeah. Not too different from the actual first episode. As a lot of it was recycled into the actual episode. And the scene with Bulk got recycled into a different episode, as I said. So, yeah. Pretty interesting though. Pretty fascinating step note. This race before the show actually did in 1993. The pilot race in 1992. And which must mean what Jew Rangers, the episode Jew Ranger, that was from a recent Jew Ranger episode, I guess. Why did he change it actually? The pilot actually used. Oh. Yeah, they used a different monster that came out of nowhere. There was Sphinx, which appeared in a different episode. I guess it's a pilot, but still. But yeah, that was the 1992 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers pilot. It's better than the first pilot. Because that was more low budget, looked like a fan film. Just looks like something a fan would make. And the characters look exactly how they do in actual series. So I give it improvement, but still official show is better. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy my content. Please thumbs up and want to see more. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, the always good picture. And see you guys later for Green Review parts 3 and 4 and Ultra Mega episode 2. Sayonara.